Hi, this practice is specifically for those who are signed up for the Deepening Asana Experience Yoga Workout 2 training, which includes 11 really challenging postures. Now, all 11 postures are standing, 6 of them are standing on one leg. So they require all the skills of a yogi, which includes stretch and strength and stamina and balance. And what I did was take all postures, and I'll share this with everyone as well. It's a grid that helps me anyway, and listed all of the preparatory poses for all 11 postures. So there are about 20 preparatory poses that are recommended in the manual. And of those, I chose about 10 to make this class to help prepare for the weekend. So there are some skills specifically that are included in all of the postures. There's a lot of hip mobility and strength. Leg strength, of course, for standing on one leg. So there's a lot of balance. There's also a lot of spinal elongation. Because of all the forward folding, hip hinging, which is hip mobility, the emphasis on elongating your spine so that with the rotated postures, the rotation will come from a very lengthened place. And then finally, shoulder stabilization. So a lot of the poses include, scapular stabilization, gliding your shoulder blades down. So I hope you enjoy this practice. I think it will help you to prepare for the weekend so you feel less sore and your body has rehearsed some of these major, components of all the poses. So I'm not going to do a bunch of pranayama. I do encourage you to warm up a little bit. I'll do some limbering at first, and if you want to add pranayama, you sure can. All right, so let's take stand. And separate your feet about shoulder width, feet parallel to each other. Get a good grip on the ground. So spread your toes nice and wide and feel your whole footprint. Hands on your hips. Start to circle your hips around. Deep breaths here. So as you limber up through your hips, your knees, your ankles, feel your body weight rolling inner edge and outer edge of your foot. Reverse in the other direction a few times. I like here to really grab my hips and feel like my hands are moving my hips around. So if that helps you to feel a little more limber and mobile through your entire girdle here. Now let's move up to your shoulders for a few rounds. Clasp your fingers, circle of joy, knuckles forward, shoulder blades move apart. As you flip your palms and reach up, let your shoulder blades elevate. Bend your elbows a little bit as you press back to feel shoulder blades hug, and then clasp your hands again behind your tail to slide shoulder blades down. Let's do a few more of these with breath. Exhale as you go forward. Inhale as you reach up and really elevate your shoulder blades. Empty your lungs as you press back, and then clasp your fingers and reach low as you inhale. Let's go 3 more times. Empty as you're forward. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to press back. Inhale to reach low. And again, exhale forward. Inhale as you lift, get really long here. Exhale, feel the strength in your upper back. And then inhale, lengthen through your neck. Last time, exhale forward. Fill your lungs up as you lift and lengthen your whole body. Exhale to reach behind, and then inhale and glide low. Let your arms be really loose here. A couple of easy cold sleeves. And as you rotate, you can make it kind of lazy-ish. You can keep the rotation focused in your upper body by keeping your feet planted and your knees a little bit bent. So minimal movement in the hips. Or if it feels better, you can play and lift one heel and bring the spiral from the ground up. Your arms kind of be loose enough to tap you in various random places. Turn your head if you like. All right, now we'll build a little more energy here with breath of joy. Remember, breath of joy is 3 quick sniffs in, really loose arms, so same loose coat sleeve arms. When you exhale, use the strength of your legs to let your arms go to the floor and your spine will stay long. All right, looks like this. We'll do 10 rounds. Three more. Last one. Let that come to stillness. Oh, all by itself. And I feel like I got a little more energy going there. And I'll start with half moon, standing half moon, feet about shoulder width apart. Stretch your arms out and up. You can suggest you catch hold of your elbows and pull a little bit just to engage more right around your shoulder girdle. So slight pull there. Stretch the crown of your head up toward your forearms. Press strong into both feet. Press hips out toward the right and reach your upper body to the left. Take about 3, maybe 5 strong Ujjayi breaths here. Press equally into both feet. Now remember the spinal elongation that I mentioned. As your hips press out toward the right, stretch up, up, up through the top of your head, the tips of your ears. Now on your inhale, come up taller than you started. Press into your feet. Come on. As you exhale, open arms way out back. Clasp your hands again in that Yoga Mudrasana. So palms together. Reach your knuckles down. Lift your collarbones. Retract your head a little bit in space so the back of your neck feels very long. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll your belly onto your thighs tight. Now stretch your knuckles straight up toward the ceiling as you stretch the top of your head down toward the floor. You're still working to keep your spine very, very long. Feel the strength in the front of your body to fold your belly tightly to your thighs. To lift, stay long in your spine. Reach back through your knuckles, forward through the top of your head, press through your feet to come all the way up, eyes open, and release your arms. Do that on the other side. Arms open as you feel your lungs up. At this time, you can catch your elbows again. You can also reach arms straight up and frame your ears, whatever feels appropriate for you, but do feel length in your torso. Deep breath in, to press your hips toward the left, to reach your upper body toward the right. Feel that askew position, right? With your arms overhead, remember, reach your arms, but no congestion around your neck and shoulders. Let your neck be soft, especially your jaw and your face. Press equally into both feet. Take a very deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Your next inhale, come up taller than you started, really tall. Exhale, open out back behind, shoulder blades will hug. Clasp your fingers behind your tail, clasp in the awkward way. Squeeze your palms, reach your knuckles down, lift your collarbones up. So a little sky gazer there. And keep your neck long, retract your head a little in space. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold, roll your belly down onto your thighs again and reach your knuckles as high as you can. Sense this, this pulling apart really. So as your knuckles stretch up as if they're magnetized to the ceiling, the top of your head stretches straight down and attempt to straighten your legs, but keep your belly on your thighs. But stay folded over this time. Bring your hands to your hips and let your fingers come down toward the floor. Palms down to the floor and step back with your feet. Lower your knees into table. Untuck your toes, tops of the feet to the floor, and start to circle your hips a few times all around your knees here. Love circles. Circles is swirling action. It's such a fabulous motion in your body. Spread fingers, press your fingerprints down. Try to explore the biggest circle you can to feel strong sensation on the outside of your hips. Reverse in the other direction. Stay with the Ujjayi sound as well. This is also not only warm in hips, your shoulders, arm bones staying in your shoulder sockets, shoulder blades gliding on your ribs. Then come back to center. Hands under shoulders, bring your knees together, hydrants, right? Lift your right knee high to the side. Now try to find the place where your left thigh is perpendicular to the floor. So you're not shifting your body weight. Press as strongly as you can into both arms. Circle your right knee. In a most interesting way, sometimes I think it's helpful to think of this circle as like a mortar and pestle. So you're swirling the thigh bone around, and the head of your thigh bone circles in your hip socket. Keep your neck long. Breathe deeply and reverse a few times in the other direction. So swirl Knee up and out and around. Take full breath. Especially that side position, because the glute med, the outside of your hip there. Very important to strengthen that for all balance postures. So try to lift the knee as high as you can. Let the foot drop low and you'll feel the outside of your hip switch on. The next time the leg comes out to the side, extend your leg and place your foot on the floor. So I'm going to mirror you here. Right leg will be out to the side, foot in line with your knee. Let's keep right hand there under your shoulder as you inhale. Open the left arm up. And then exhale, dive low and reach your arm through towards your foot, kind of like thread the needle. Inhale, open. And then exhale, weave the arm through. So we're introducing a little more rotation in your spine. Stay long in your spine and breathe deeply. Let's go 2 more times. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, weave the arm through. Last one. Open as wide as you can. Stretch up and dive low. Get your shoulders close to the floor as possible. And come back up to center where you started. Keep that foot there. Rise up for Pranakriya, the gate posture. Plant your foot, whatever feels good to you. Toes forward, toes slightly out. Be certain that the knee is straight and strong if it's available, but not locked. Let your right forearm rest there in your hip crease. Stretch left arm straight up. Press down strong into the left knee, so this long line from your knee to your fingertips. Deep breath in helps you get even longer. And as you exhale, side bend and breathe. Now in this side bend, be certain this waistline feels long, so you're not collapsing down. It's almost like the half moon that we did, right? Long, strong waistline. Easy neck. Take 2 more deep, full breaths. Now on your inhale, come all the way up tall. Open your arms wide. Lean away from your right leg. This kneeling star. And spread your arms wide, neck always really long. And lift your right heel just a little bit off the floor. You can tap your right big toe. Try to find the place where you're sort of balanced on the left knee. I mentioned earlier the glute med outside of your hip muscles. You can feel both of them working in this position. 1 more deep breath. Whoa. And then tip yourself back up. Bring your hands down. Bring the right knee back in where you came from in table. Leg pumps. As you inhale, press the right leg back. As you exhale, pull it in. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Deep breath in. You can exhale through your mouth. Let that happen. Pick up the pace a little bit. And then step your right foot all the way up between your hands for lunge. Now sink deep into the lunge. And anchor the front foot as your knee over the ankle. Slide your left leg back. Maybe drape your torso over your front thigh for a few breaths. And really let your hips sink in between. So as I mentioned, Hanumanasana is in the 11 poses. It's the only one that's not standing. Nonetheless, very intense. And so this is split preparations. Blocks might be helpful under your hands here. You're welcome to do that. Keep your belly on your front thigh. Pull your hips back to emphasize forward folding. And then bend your front knee and sink. So deep full breaths here. It helps to maybe exhale as you move back. And then inhale to find more length as you come forward. Press into the top of your back foot. Really explore what you're feeling in the back of the right leg as you pull your hips back. And then in the front of the left hip as you bring your hips forward. Do 2 more times. Try to keep your spine long, right? That is a constant in all of the poses that we'll be diving into. 1 more time. This time, when you pull your hips back, stay there. Try to straighten the front leg out as much as you can. Lengthen your spine along your front thigh. Roll a little internal and external rotation of the front thigh. Continue pressing your sternum forward and gliding your shoulder blades down your back. It would feel okay. Take a little walk with your fingers toward the right. And pull your right hip back. Maybe relax the weight of your head. Nice. And then come back to center. Bend your front knee. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. So you're in a high lunge. Keep the back heel pointing straight up toward the ceiling. Press into your left hand. Reach your right arm up next to your ear and roll so long. When the arm reaches overhead, let it help you to lengthen your spine. Roll toward the right and twist into a rotated lateral angle. And I'll circle right arm up toward the ceiling, and to really emphasize the shoulder blade gliding down, reach your fingers way out back while you stretch the crown of your head forward. Wrap your right hand behind your back and press into the hand. You grab something back there. Push the back of your hand into your hip. Keep lengthening your neck. Take one more very deep full breath. Unwind the same way you got there. Reach the right arm back, up to the ceiling, way out in front, and finally land your hand, lower the back knee, step your right knee back where it came from. And now knees together, tick-tock your hips side to side. If your hips can touch the floor, let that happen. Stay with a deep, full breath. Nice, and then come back to center. Adjust yourself for hydrants on the left. So hands under your shoulders and knees probably hands distance apart, right under your hips. Lift your left knee to the side. Check your right thigh so it's perpendicular. It's really easy to kind of kick your hips out to the side here. Stay kneeling tall out of the right knee. Circle your left knee around. Use the Ujjayi sound. It always helps to build a little more heat. So assures that you're breathing, using everything that's available to you, your entire lung capacity. And then reverse your circles back in the other direction. Really emphasize that side position. Sense the outside of both hips working. As you get your knee high to the side, it's kind of like making a little fist with the outside of your hip. Nice. Next time that leg comes up, I'm going to move into gate posture, extend the leg out, and place your foot on the floor. So I'll mirror you again here from the front, left foot in line with your right knee. Sort of a twisted, almost like thread the needle. Keep your left hand where it is. Inhale, open the right arm up and feel the rotation in your ribs as you exhale. Lead your arm through the hole. Inhale, open. And exhale, weave it through. Where every time you open, try to feel the combination of not only the arm and the ear reaching, but the hand on the floor pushing down while you continue to make your spine as long as you possibly can. Let's do 2 more times. Anchor through the left foot as well. Stand strong out of your right knee. 1 more time. Inhale to open and exhale. Weave the arm through. Now come back to center. Lift up tall for gate posture. Remember the leg abducted like that. There is work in the outside of the hip, but it also tends to hike the hip. So attempt to sink the hip down. You can feel more hip opening, more mobility here in your inner thighs. Cradle your left forearm in your hip crease. Reach your right arm up next to your ear. Stand strong out of the right knee. Take a deep breath in, get even taller. And as you exhale, lateral flex up and over. Again, think of lifting up this bottom waistline up and over an object. Easy neck and shoulders. It's easy to sit your hips back here. Press hips forward, just a little bit like bridge. So you feel the back of your body. 1 more very deep, full breath. On your inhale, come up tall, open arms wide. Really feel your wingspan here. Glide your shoulder blades down. We'll hear that cue pretty often as we work with these poses. Tip away from your long leg, the left leg. Spread out through fingers, reach through the tips of your ears, hover your heel a little bit off of the floor, And maybe your big toe stays there, or cover the leg. Kneeling, balancing, star. That's everything that's working here in concert, right, in symphony, to get this action to play. And then lower your foot, come back up tall, bring your hands down, and come back into table where you started. Now the left leg for leg pumps. As you inhale, reach back. Exhale, pull your knee in. This also combines a little cat-cow. So move your spine into extension and flexion. When you lift your chin, your shoulder blades come together. When you aim your nose towards your knee, shoulder blades go apart. Pick up some pace if you can. Step that foot up between your hands for lunge. Frame your foot with your fingers or blocks if they're helpful. Scooch the back thigh back as far as you can. Let your hips sink low. And sway a little bit. Maybe drape your body over your front thigh. Sense the sandwiching feeling here, so that your belly is lengthened along your front thigh. Now lift your gaze, lengthen through the neck, walk your fingers back as you pull your hips back, and then bend your front knee and let your hips sink low. Now use your breath. Your breath is a fabulous balm that can soothe sore, tight areas and actually help to pry open stuck areas as well. It's a fabulous tool. Long, deep, full breaths. Keep your spine long. Every time you come forward, it might be nice to inhale there. So steady breath, whatever works for you. But the inhale usually facilitates elongation in your spine. And the exhale helps with engagement or effort. The next time you pull your hips back, pause and feel. Always be appropriate, in terms of your sensation. It's usually on a scale of 1 to 10, you always want like a green light, something that's really interesting that captures your attention, but nothing aggressive. So as you roll your leg in and out here, there's probably something interesting to visit high in your hip. Keep lengthening your spine, especially your neck. Maybe you find the most interesting spot in that rotation. Walk your fingers toward the left. So your right fingertips can curl out. Maybe explore what's happening there in your right waistline. Let's take one more deep, full breath. And then bring yourself back to center, bend your front knee, tuck your back toes under to lift the back knee into a high lunge. Be strong in the back leg. Once you lift it, press through your heel. Keep the right hand there under your shoulder and twist to the left for rotated lateral angle. Unfold your left arm up toward the ceiling and send it up next to your ear. Spiral as far as you can. Press through your back heel. Reach through your fingers. Ujjayi sound. Even though your legs are split here, hug your inner thighs toward the midline. Hug your thighs tight together. Sweep your arm way up toward the ceiling, out back behind you. Find something, just go as far as you can behind you. And that snuggles your shoulder blade down, like hugs to your rib cage, and it might help you to spiral and twist a little bit further. Both hands assisting that. One more deep, full breath. And then release your fingers back down where they started. It's a big step all the way up to forward fold. Put your feet so they're parallel to each other, probably hands within between. There's a fair amount of forward folding that we'll be visiting. So remember, that is hip mobility. To hinge forward from your hips and your hip crease, right where your thigh plugs into your pelvis. Also long spine. Wrap your arms around the back of your thighs. Give yourself a hug. Catch your elbows again if you can. Hug tight. Sandwich your belly on your thighs, stretch the top of your head toward your toes, and try to straighten out your legs. Deep, full breath. Especially into your ribs and into your back. Now release your fingers toward the floor. Eyes open, bend your knees, long spine. Bring your hands to your hips. And keep your spine long. Use your hamstrings, use the back side of your body, your hamstrings and your butt to lift you up to stand. Once you stand in mountain, take a few sun breaths. Press down into your feet. As you inhale, open your arms wide and stretch up. As you exhale, go right back over the same way you came up, long spine, belly to thighs. Inhale, come up halfway and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, try to fold a little tighter, belly to thighs. Open arms wide. Practice using the back of your body. Lots of strength there to lift you up. Maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, I'll bring your hands to your heart. Twice more. Inhale, stretch out, up and open. As you exhale, stand long and fold your belly tight to your thighs. Inhale, push against your shins. Help yourself to get longer. And then exhale, fold a little bit tighter. Open arms wide, press your feet out to come up, little back bend. And exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Let's go one more time. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold at your hips all the way over. Inhale, rise, fill your lungs up and lengthen. Exhale, fold a little deeper, a little deeper. Open arms wide, stretch out and up, little back bend. Exhale, hands come home to your heart. Breath in, Utkatasana, squat. As you exhale, sit back into squat. Now in your squat pose, spine long. Your knees move back, your hips move back. And sometimes it's easy to sort of stick your tail out a little too much or curl your hips under a little too much. Find neutral spine, so hips are level, waistline's long. Deep, full breath. Sit a little deeper, sit a little deeper. Press palms firmly together. On your inhale, press through your heels, come all the way up, little back bend. Exhale out to fold all the way over, belly to thighs. Step your right leg out back into a high lunge where we were earlier. Keep your heel pointing straight up. Stabilize there. Arms reach out back behind you. And go wide to the sides with your arms. And then peel your belly off your thigh. Reach your arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Nice. Once you're there, be strong in your legs. Even there, your inner thighs are split again. Hug your thighs toward the midline. Reach up through your fingers, maybe a little bit of a back bend. Waistline's very long. Now open your arms again, come up tall, open into T. And then palms down. Take a breath in. As you exhale, twist to your left. Reach as far as you can. With right fingertips reaching forward to the front edge of your mat, left fingertips reaching way out to the back edge of your mat. And stay right there. And as you inhale, come back through center. Exhale, arms up next to your ears. Now open your hips to the right, lower your back heel, and now your arms open in warrior 2. So you're facing the opposite long side of your mat. Your warrior 2, Parshva Virabhadrasana. The spine is upright and vertical. Press strong into both feet. So sense the strength, especially in your lower body. Let's add a quick reverse warrior. Sweep your, flip your left palm, sweep it up next to your ear. Reach up with your back hand, grab hold of your top wrist and pull. Let that help you to open more through your left waistline. Now stretch so much that you straighten out your front leg. Bring yourself back up tall, open arms wide. Heel toe in a little bit with your back foot for triangles, so it's not quite so wide of a stance. Straight, strong legs. Press your right hip out behind you. Reach your left arm forward. Keep the bottom waistline long and stack your arms in line with your shoulders. A lot of core strength here. If you don't need any help from down below with this bottom hand, keep it out in line with your shoulder. Gaze up towards your top thumb. If that feels okay in your neck, roll your belly and your chest open toward the ceiling. One more deep breath. Press into your feet, come all the way up. Bend your front knee, bend your left elbow, land softly, left elbow on your right thigh. Slice your right arm forward and around and up next to your ear. If it goes next to your ear, let that continue to open your chest and belly again toward the ceiling. Extended lateral angle. Be light in the bottom arm, as light as you can, so you stay active through the elongation in your spine, your waistline's working. One more deep breath. Then rotate toward your front foot. Land both hands as you lift your back heel. Step back up into forward fold. Empty your lungs. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, soar out and up and open. Little back bend. Exhale into squat, Utkatasana. Put your hips back. Keep your torso as vertical as possible. Strong Ujjayi breath. If you want to challenge your balance or your stamina and your core strength, a little bit more, arms out in front, shoulder height. Begin to pump your arms kind of vigorously, but keep your body very still. Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. 3 more. Out through your mouth. Again. Out through your mouth. Strong pumps. 1 more deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, come all the way up, and then exhale, fold all the way over. Left leg steps back into high lunge. Stabilize. Strong back leg. Reach your arms out back. Let the reaching of your hands behind you glide your shoulder blades down. Feel the length in your neck. Open your arms wide in T. Reach. Peel your belly off your front thigh. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Frame your ears. Sometimes it's helpful to bend the back knee just a little bit to get your hips underneath of you rather than tipping your pelvis forward. Try to get your hips underneath of you so they're level, and then like a little tug of war, push the back heel back without disturbing your hips. Take 1 more deep full breath. Come up tall, open arms in T. Take another breath in, stay long. Exhale, twist to the right, split your arms. Reaching willfully to the back arm. Right hand reaches way back, left hand reaches way forward. Keep hips level, reach up through the top of your head, hug thighs. 1 more deep full breath. And then unwind out of the twist, the same way you got there. Reach your arms up next to your ears. Open your hips to the other side of your mat. Lower your left heel. You're in Parja Virabhadrasana on the other side. So gaze forward over your front middle finger. And keep your torso, your spine, especially waistline and neck, very long. Commit to the front lunge. Body weight equal in both feet. Sense the strength in your legs. Flip your right palm. Sweep it up next to your ear. Reach out with your left hand. Grab your wrist. Pull up and back to give you more expansion through the right side. Breathe deeply. Reach so much so that it straightens out your front leg. Come back up tall, open your arms wide for triangle. Adjust your stance as you need to, usually a little bit closer for most. Now, like straight, strong legs, bump your hip out back behind you, reach your front arm forward, and stack your arms in line with your shoulders. Easy neck again, so check that. Relax your tongue, relax your jaw. Roll belly and chest open toward the ceiling. Take 2 more deep full breaths. Press down into both feet. Lift up super tall. Bend your front knee, bend your front elbow. Lightly land your forearm on your front thigh. Keep the bottom waistline very long. Sweep the Top arm forward and overhead, lateral angle. Now, so it's a long line of energy from your back ankle all the way up through your top hand. Take one more deep, full breath. Nice, and then rotate so that you frame your front foot, lift your back heel, step up, forward fold into your lungs. Reverse swan dive, open your arms wide, soar out and up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Vrikshasana, tree. So we'll start tree from the front of your mat. I'll start on the right. Hands on your hips. Because we're going to step this back into warrior one. Shift your body weight so that you're rooted into your left foot. Unload your right heel. Now, similar to your warrior two, take the right knee and open it to the right as far as you can. So really sense that outward rotation. This is where hydrants are really helpful too. The outside of both hips really are working. So feel the knee open. Choose your position for your tree posture. You can tap the ankle to your knee. You can step on your foot. You can take your right toes on top of the left foot. Cup your calf. Come up to your thigh. The higher the leg goes, the more you want to make sure that your hips are level. Try not to hike the hip, similar to what we did in gate pose, waistline long. And you can open your arms in T. And stretch your arms up overhead. I'm going to suggest we catch hold of your elbows again, as we did earlier in half moon. So catch your forearms or your elbows. Give a little pull. Lift your collarbones. One more deep breath. Release your arms, hands on your hips. Point the right knee forward, lift it as high as you can, and then send it back behind you, tip over, so you lean forward, reach the right leg way up back, and softly bend your standing knee, step the right foot down into warrior one. And once you're there, frame, again, get your hips underneath of you. If you need to bend the back knee to make that happen, get your hips under so your spine can go vertical, and then push through your back heel to feel strong engagement in the back side, and maybe opening in the front. Frame your ears with your arms. This time as you exhale, sweep hands back behind, clasp your fingers, sky gazer, reach your knuckles towards your back heel, lift your collarbones. In a humble warrior, reach out and over, lengthen, 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 longer spine. If you can go deeper to the inside of the front leg, go down as far as you can, maybe kiss your front ankle, reach your knuckles high, and then you come up just halfway, plant your hands to either side of your front foot. Now that left foot that you're looking at, sweep it high behind you into dog split. And in your dog split, right heel sinks toward the floor and the left heel's lifted way out back. Lift it willfully so you literally feel a split sensation. In other words, a big stretch, big sensation in the back of the right leg, and action in the left glute. Frame your ears with your arms, deep full breath. Now, keep that left leg lifted. Walk your hands back to your right foot and keep sending the left leg as high as you can, as high as you can. Maybe you need to bend the right knee a little bit. Get your belly on your thigh. Can you grab your ankle with one hand and pull? If you try one hand, go ahead and switch. Try the other hand and pull. Maybe both hands can grab that ankle and pull. And then place your hands down, walk back out in front, lower the left leg, and come into plank. Adjust your stance as you need to. So straight, strong legs. Push the ground away so your shoulder blades move apart. Retract your head. The back of your head presses up to the sky. Give a little squeeze to your glutes. Press your heels back. Take a very deep breath in. Use the whole exhale to lower to the floor, no sagging. Whole exhale, lower. Let your head rest on your hands. Take a few deep breaths in here. You can bend your knees if it would feel good, and windshield wiper your feet side to side. And then come to center, stretch your legs long. You can leave your hands right there under your forehead, or you can let your forehead touch the floor and bring your arms long at your sides. If that's available, bring your arms at your sides. If you prefer hands under forehead, you stay right there. With your hands at your sides, walk your fingers back again so your shoulders slide down. Press your hips into the ground for half locust. Relax the left leg. Reach your right leg back and up. Now take about 3 strong breaths there as you stretch way back. Hold both intentions of reaching the right leg long as well as lifting it up while you let your head rest and you crawl your fingers back. And then lower the right leg and switch. Left leg reaches back and up. Try to relax the right leg completely. One more deep breath. And then lower. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up into table. In your table pose, a few cat-cows as you exhale around your spine. And as you inhale, extend. And make your way to down dog. Tuck your toes, hips to heels. Rise into down dog. Breathing in. And breathing out. 2 more very deep, full breaths here. Long spine, long breath. Balance in your body. Balance hand to hand, foot to foot, long waistline. And with as few steps as possible, walk your feet up to your hands into forward fold, belly to thighs. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, soar out and up and open, little back bend. And then exhale, bring your hands home to your heart. Do that tree sequence on the other side. Hands on your hips. Root into your right foot. The center of your body, your will shift over the right foot. So you can unload the left heel without disturbing your hips. Hips will stay level. Open the left knee to the side. You're starting to feel like that little hip hug in both hips. Choose your position for tree, wherever you choose for that foot. Remember, the higher the leg goes, the more you have to kind of pay attention, close attention to keeping your hips level and maintaining that opening to the leg. So your arms out wide. You want to catch hold of your elbows again up overhead, or maybe prayer pose. Take 2 more deep, full breaths. Grow your tree. Every inhale, grow your tree. Every exhale, root down a little stronger so that the next inhale you can grow a little longer. On your next exhale, release your arms, bring your hands back to your hips, point your left knee forward, lift your left knee high, start to tip over, maybe soften the standing knee a little bit, and tip over, reach your left leg way out back. And then bend your standing knee to softly place your foot down into your Hydrants 1. Again, bend the back knee if you need to. So you can feel with your hands if your hips are tipped forward and your tailbone's lifted. You kind of want to get your hips underneath of you. Not that you're tucking, but it's a neutral spine. So then your spine can lift vertical. And then keeping your hips still, push through your back heel. Frame your ears with your arms in Virabhadrasana. Welcome to stay right here. Or circle arms way out back. Feel that circle of joy we did earlier. Shoulder blades hugged. Tips of the shoulder blades glide down. Clasp your fingers in the awkward way Reach your knuckles back towards your back heel. Lift your collarbones. And stay really long through your belly here. As if you're looking way out over the edge of the cliff. Lengthen out over your front thigh. And you can stay there with your belly on your thigh. Or you can keep going way down to the inside of the front leg. Aim your nose towards your front ankle. Get your knuckles super high. If you're low, come up just halfway to land your hands to either side of the front foot. And that right leg is going to be your dog split. Reach it way out back behind you. No twisting in your dog split. Keep your hips square. Again, you'll know your hips are square really if you feel the outside of both hips. And the more you reach your right leg high, the more engagement you'll feel in the back of the right leg, as well as length and stretch in the back of the left leg. Deep breath. Start to take a journey. Walk your hands back to your standing leg. Keep reaching the right leg as high as you can. Go back far enough that you might need to bend your standing knee, and that's totally cool. Get your belly on your thigh. Get your belly on your thigh. Maybe one hand reaches and grabs and gives you a little pull. You got to keep reaching that right heel high. And if you take one hand and play with the other hand and pull, and maybe both hands. Grab your ankle and pull. Then release. Take your walk back out in front and to lower into plank. Hold for about 3 breaths in your plank. Adjust your position as you need to. Heels will point straight up. Tips of your ears forward. Back of your heart up toward the ceiling. Get a little squeeze of your glutes. It's like 2 giant hands hugging your hips. Take a deep breath in. Use the exhale to ride all the way down to the ground. No sagging. No sagging. As soon as you land, tops of the feet to the floor. This time, clasp your hands behind your back. If that doesn't feel good, do your hands alongside your body as we did before. Once you clasp, reach your knuckles way back towards your heels. Lengthen the back of your neck. As you press your hips down, lift your head, lift your chest, press big toes together and lift your legs. Breathe deeply. Take 2 more strong Ujjayi breaths. If you can lift your knuckles a little higher and reach your knuckles back towards your heels a little bit more, you go right ahead. And softly lower all the way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Under your forehead. And take a little pause. You know, let your knees bend. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. You can circle. Reverse. Now bring your hands under your shoulders, press up, and anything that feels good. If you need a little more nurturing, cat-cow, maybe hip circles, child's pose. I suggest we meet in hero. Have a seat with your hips on your heels. This is for Yoga Mudrasanas. It's a nice counter stretch from the pose for what you just did. Clasp your hands behind your back. Reach your knuckles down, collarbones rise up, and retract your head in space. Slight back bend at this point. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, like a wheel rolling down a hill, roll your belly onto your thighs, way out so that your forehead comes to rest lightly. You can keep reaching your knuckles up here, or lift your hips. Most of your body weight is in your knees. So light touch on the top of your head. And press knuckles high, keep palms together as much as possible. Round your spine, like cat pose, round, round, round. One more very deep, full breath. And then sit your hips back towards your heels. We're gonna come up the same way you got there. Lift your chin, stretch out, peel your belly off your thighs. Keep lifting as you reach all the way back to where you came from. And finally, release your hands. Bring them around to your thighs. And receive. Now just a few more while you're nice and warm. And close with just 3 more poses. Come forward into table for pigeon. And slide your right knee up towards your right wrist. Swivel your right foot across. And begin to glide your left leg back so that your hips stay square to the floor. And the left leg stays in line with your hip as well. So don't let it get too wide. Top of the left foot down so your left heel points straight up. No discomfort in the front knee. Right, so make certain if your hips are really high, it's sometimes nice to put just a little block or blanket under. In this case, would be your right hip. Now stay long. We'll work spinal elongation here. Walk your fingers way out in front and then maybe lower onto your elbows. Find the place where you feel the greatest, the most interesting sensation in your both hips. Keep your spine long, especially your neck, your waistline. Take 3 or 4 more strong Ujjayi breaths here. If it works, the front shin, the outside of your front shin, press down into the ground, pretty strong. And reach willfully through the back leg. So imagine your invisible assistant there holding on to your left ankle and giving you a little traction. 1 more deep, full breath. And then climb your hands back up. Now tuck the back toes under, sneak the back knee in, unswivel your front foot, and then slide it back to where you came from. Okay, we'll do the other side. Left knee to left wrist, and then swivel your left foot across toward the right side of your mat. Glide your right knee back until again you feel something interesting in your hips. Keep them square to each other. Breathe deeply. Now, if you want to stay long here, or you stay lifted, if you like to, stay lifted. If you feel more sensation in your hips with your lifted, stay right there. Walk your fingers forward and lower your elbows. You still want to work the traction though. So elongate your spine, especially the back of your neck. Breathe deeply. Ujjayi sound. Take the outside of the front shin and actively press down a little bit more vigorously, and also the back leg. So at the same time, the back leg is reaching. Take several deep, full breaths. Now, climb back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes under to sneak the back knee in. Unswivel your left foot and glide it back. All right, now, so we'll have folded tree posture. And this pigeon prepares you for practicing lotus. And lotus is challenging for many people, right? So be cautious with your hips. I'm going to roll down onto your back, and I'll offer an option to do half lotus. So catch hold, start with your right foot, very much like pigeon. So your right foot in your left hand, right hand on your right knee, and begin to press the knee away while you pull your foot towards you. You can have your left knee bent if that feels better, or the left leg can be straight. But glide your shins side to side, relax your head, breathe deeply. Now, if the outer edge of your right foot can go right up in your, remember your hip crease is right there where your thigh bone plugs into your hip, okay? So if you can get the outer edge of your right foot right there in your hip crease, hold that foot there. and then bend your left knee. Start to push the right knee away, or gently. You don't want to feel any pain in your knee. Okay, if it's too painful, you might need to open up and work with, this is sometimes called like a figure 4. If you can work with it, more flexion in the knee and progress toward half lotus, this will be used in the standing folded tree posture. So you're attempting to open the right knee away with no pain in the knee. You want to feel that you're regaining range of motion in your hip. And then as a little counter stretch, cross the right leg over the left, tight, and bring your knees in, catch hold of your shins, and kind of pry them apart. The higher your feet go here, I think you'll find different sensations in your hips. And then the other side, so right leg can extend, you can keep your knee bent, hold on to your foot with your opposite hand, and same left hand on left knee. A little bit like your shin bone becomes a bit of a pry bar here. The more you pull your foot towards you and kind of drive your knee away, the more you'll outwardly rotate your left thigh, which is what's needed for half lotus. So play with that and maybe rock a little side to side. Deep breaths, deep full breaths. Then explore, can you get the outer edge of your left foot in your right hip crease? You could hold the foot there, you could press the knee away here with a straight leg, with the right leg being straight. Kind of like half of a butterfly flapping its wings. Or you could, by bending your knee, you get a little more of a roadblock there. And you continue to open, deep breath. And then cross, like eagle legs, cross as high, uppermost inner thighs, and catch your shins, and maybe catch your feet, and pull your feet apart from each other. Certainly your spine is long here. It's really easy to roll your tailbone up off of the ground. Keep your hips heavy as you pry your feet apart. One more breath. And then release. Final pose, slide your left leg out long, step your right foot on your left thigh for a knee down twist. And breathe deeply. Be soft in this pose. You're giving into gravity. You could turn your head in the opposite direction if you like. Extend your exhale a little longer. On your next exhale, come back to center, and let's switch. So right leg long, step your left foot on your right thigh, use your right hand to guide the leg across. Find the perfect position for you to just sink into. Long breaths, especially the exhale. Ride the exhale all the way out to the end. One more deep breath. Beautiful. Inhale and come back to center. You're welcome to stay there for a little longer in a Shavasana, or work with any pranayams. But as you're ready, come on up to seated. And that is what I had in mind as the prep practice for Deepening Asana Experience Yoga Workout 2 program. So I look forward to seeing you in the practice, in the program, and I hope this is helpful for some leg strength, hip mobility, spinal elongation, spinal rotation, shoulder scapulization. There's a lot going on there. Thanks for joining me.